All right, Music Posse. Put a pause on it for a little bit here. All right. Thank you, Music Posse. By the way, audience members, in case, as part of you watching tonight's live stream, you're wondering, Bill, where the hell were you last month? I'm going to be honest with you. My co-host, Greg, and I, somewhat intentional, took a hiatus from this stuff. We needed a break. That's reason number one. Reason number two, as the old cliche says and goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And my saying that is, hey, if you missed us, welcome back. We're ready to do our live stream tonight in this episode of Real Living in Bolingbrook. So before I asked my co-host to join me because 60 days have passed. We skipped last month. Greg, I don't think you're going to be as rusty as I am. I hope you're not. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an applause to jack you up, to warm you up. All right, fans, give Greg this round of applause. Here we go. Yeah, Greg, get yourself ready. I'm giving you 60 seconds. By the way, as I'm giving you 60 seconds, I'm having some popcorn. So here we go.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
I'm good. I'm eating popcorn, watching my and our live stream.
All right.
That
was a quick 60 seconds, by the way.
That was a quick 60 seconds, right? How you been doing?
Doing very good. It's been a good spring season so far. A lot of activity. But things are going good.
Good.
Yeah.
So, I in a conversation you and I had already, I get that sense from you, right? I get that sense from you that things are going good. The spring season started, I don't know, 60 days ago, and you're kind of rocking and rolling with a nice rhythm.
Yeah, definitely the spring season's kicked off. I would say, though, overall, and I'm looking back at, I base everything from COVID or 2020 onto where we are today, because that's when the home market really started changing really weird.
Okay.
I look over, year over year, what we're seeing right now being the spring season is really nothing more than a seasonally adjusted activity. Things are getting better. More listings are coming on. More listings are staying on the market longer, but it's not really necessarily not typical of this time of year. This time of the year, it tends to get a little bit busier. So It's definitely getting busier, but not like things have really changed in the market where things are really starting to turn around.
That's right.
So we are still experiencing a very low amount of inventory. A lot of the inventory, you hear a lot of people talk about how inventory is staying on the market longer.
Yeah,
and that is a little bit true. But what I see is that the sellers have now heard that it's a seller's market, and a lot of their pricing is going for the moon. So a lot of people are pricing their homes where the values just aren't there. And so those are the homes that are sitting on the market. The homes that aren't being well prepared are the ones sitting on the market. So it's kind of true that some homes are sitting longer, but when you have a house right on, I-88 freeway, it's not going to sell too well. You got to lower the price, but
yeah. Well,
in the market. But one thing I'll tell you that I'm a little bit excited about, and a lot of people have probably heard, but in Bolingbrook, there is and I think we touched on this once before, they're going to be breaking ground pretty soon on a major development right off of Rodeo and Essington Drive of a new housing project, which is going to have both rentals and regular homes.
Right.
And, a lot of, detached homes, but 228 are in the works.
Wow.
This investment company is spending $100 million for 75 acres, and they're just going to build a nice big subdivision with a pool and a clubhouse in the middle, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I'm generally not excited about rental units. I just don't think that's good for the community. I think people need to invest and buy and build equity. But understanding the market that we're in and how we're so short in housing, I'll take whatever. If you're going to build rentals,
Yeah.
We just need more housing.
Yeah. Well, let's be real, Greg. You and I both shared this in a previous episode. So audience members, feel free to hit my YouTube channel to look at a previous episode where we actually got into the weeds about this, where we talked about the current persona of a seller, but also a buyer. And you and I, Greg, talked about how the persona of a buyer right now, the average age of a first-time buyer has pushed to 40-something.
Yeah, I think it's 40 years old.
Yeah. So back
it used to be 28 just a few years ago.
So let's talk about, I think, why maybe this investment company with these 75 acres, they're doing a mixture of rental units, homes for sale, to buy, for ownership, and probably, my guess, some retail stuff. It's because at the end of the day, not everyone can afford to own and buy, but they still need to live somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, what does that mean for some of you audience members who want to leverage real estate for wealth reasons? Well, you could maybe buy a unit and rent it out. There is a play for you. There is a play for that. So let's now talk about something that kept you quite busy. And you shared this with me, Greg. Yeah. And that is this wonderful looking property that you are currently selling with a partner. Am I right?
Yes. I'm the co-lister on this property. My partner, Tom, picked up this beautiful listing. It's in Downers Grove, just a real nice brick ranch style home.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Ranch homes are in such high demand.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 years ago, I would have thought, no way, two-story, but everything has been a ranch. Everyone wants a ranch.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe I just notice it because I'm getting older and my knees are starting to hurt. But I don't really know. But at any rate, this property is a pretty nice property, fairly well updated. And Tom and I, did some things to the home to get it ready and stuff like that to list.
Sure.
And but we put it on the market. We did an open house this last weekend. And the first day we had 40 groups of people come through the door, and everyone liked it. Everyone liked it. And that's just, and as people were coming in or as they were leaving, it's kind of like I feel bad for so many of these buyers. They really like the home. What would it take to get this home? And only one of them out of the 40, or actually, I think we had 10 or 15 the next day. Only one of them is going to end up with it.
That's right.
And so it's just so competitive out there.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a very nice home.
Yeah. So for our audience members, I want to throw up this poll. And by the way, you're in the business. You can't answer it, not out loud. You can think it, Greg. So audience members, the poll that I'm throwing up right here is common question, maybe. What is the most important factor selling your home your home? And the answers are right price, curb appeal, decluttered stage property, and last choice in the multiple choice of answers is being flexible. Now, Greg, don't answer it, but think it. And audience members, whether you are watching this live stream right now or watching this on demand, feel free, because of social media, because of audience engagement, throw into social media posts your answer from this poll, okay? All right, now, I think I know what the answer is.
Let's hear it.
All right, I'm gonna kind of answer it. Let me hide the poll here so we can see each other. I think the answer is this. Greg, hopefully you'll nod. Every home sells at the right price.
Correct.
Even if it is a shitty home.
Yeah.
You know why? Because our guest for tonight runs a business where he helps people turn shitty homes into the prince or the princess.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you agree with that general
100%.
statement?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So let's now talk about something else I want to pick your brain on. Because you are right now, you touched on it, Greg. You are busy. You've got inventory keeping you busy, keeping you and your team busy without divulging any privacy stuff of your clients. What is the most common reason why sellers are moving? So here's a poll. What is the most common reason why sellers are moving? What's your thoughts on that?
Ironically, as it may seem, right now with the, I probably have 5 listings that I'm working with, either on the market or coming on the market soon.
Okay.
All of those, I touch on all of those.
All of those.
I have one divorce, one downsize, one job relocation, guys moving to Texas. Parents passed away, and so the kids are selling it. But it's like I have one of all of them. So what's the biggest one?
The biggest one. Come on.
I would say, well, it's not going to be job relocation. It's probably not going to be divorce. I would say downsizing. What's number 4? I can't see number 4.
There was no number 4. Sorry, but you added one.
Okay. I would say,
downsizing,
would be another one.
And you know what? I kind of believe you, because let's bring up that property that you are actively selling with your partner, right?
Yeah.
This is a beautiful 1-level brick ranch home in the sought after suburb, amongst others, of Downers Grove. And think about it. The ideal buyer for you and your partner, representing your seller buying this home, is someone that's unloading, getting rid of their big McMansion 2-story, but they got stuff. They got stuff, a lot of stuff. And so they still need the spaces of a detached single family home with a yard, with a garage to keep their stuff, but they don't want the stairs. And then for you and your partner and your seller, I'm guessing this. I'm manifesting this. That buyer, that one buyer, is probably going to pay cash for this. Why? Because they probably have already sold their 2-story home and they're looking for the right one to make the move to. What do you think?
I would say that's pretty accurate, except I can't say with 100% because that's still a gray area.
True.
So, but I would say that the majority, I wouldn't even say that. I would say it's 50-50. 50% of the people that came in have a new family, newlywed, want a first home.
True.
50% of them wanted to downsize and they wanted to move to a ranch.
Yeah. So guess which one, in the eyes of your seller and you and your partner, might be the winner. The winner chicken dinner is the one that is gonna is the one that's gonna write a nice clean offer, little to no contingencies, close in 20 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
cash,
right? So first time buyers. For those of you watching this live stream, if what you heard from me and Greg right now is you're scratching your head, you're like doing this look that I'm kind of doing, which is, well, how the hell do I compete? Well, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. How you compete is you got to make sure you have a rock solid plan, a good strategy. And the question you need to ask yourself is, I don't have that plan. You don't have that plan because you don't have the right team to help you create that plan. So stay tuned until we wrap up tonight's live stream. I'm going to give you your call to action, your decision as to how you can assemble the right team to get you to be as strong as a cash buyer. So having said this, Greg, by the way, that one level brick ranch home, you had 40 households, 40 families come through. Shit, it's kind of like a long line for Taylor Swift concert tickets, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Too funny, too funny. All right, let's now, audience members, let's give a nice applause for my guest who has been kind enough to join Greg and me tonight in this episode. And before I bring him into the conversation, I'm going to set the backdrop, guys. I'm going to set the backdrop. He is in a business, just like Greg and myself, where it's highly saturated. That's a polite way of saying it's a crowded business. He's got a lot of people that claim to do what he does, what they do well. And so the question I'm going to ask him once he comes into the studio here is, well, what makes you different? So with all of that said, let me give Tom Geiger a nice round audio applause. Here we go. All right. Let's bring him in. Hello, Tom Geiger.
Hey, what's going on, boys? How you doing?
How you doing, Tom?
We're doing well. By the way, thanks for being so quick on the dime to answer my call and for my benefit, basically you said, yeah, I'll show up. I did this with you before because I know you're busy running your family business as well as watching your daughter become the next pro hockey player.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, well, that's what we do. We answer phones and we show up.
So, Tom, you heard me say it. You're in a business just like Greg and mine, where it's overly saturated. We got a lot of peers that claim to do the same thing.
Yeah.
What makes you different?
I mean, for us, it's people first always. So, I mean, I think a lot of it starts with, always starts with good intentions, but money always gets in the way. And running the business itself is, it's a lot. It's a lot to manage different guys, various projects. So it's real easy to stumble over yourself. So, but we keep people at the core of everything that we do. And the heart of that is trying to make it as convenient and seamless for them as possible, and giving good advice. So if we have an opportunity to give good advice, even if we're not going to win the work, or it's a project or a type of project that we don't do, we want to be able to offer that too. So that's kind of what we want to be, is that one-stop shop, that go-to person for homeowners. And it starts with trust. We want to build deep roots with everybody that we come in contact with.
Oh my gosh. You hit it right on the nail, Tom. Trust. Greg, isn't that the one, if not the biggest goal that we have to overcome working with the clients that we want to work with, right? It's trust.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially in today's day and age.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Tom.
Yes, sir.
How do you make it easy for me? I'll put myself on the hot seat. How do you make it easy for me to engage you? Explain.
Yeah, so we try and make ourselves visible, both on Google. We've got our website. We're on social media, so forth and so on. But then when you go to our website, we've got a request form that you can fill out. You can submit pictures. Give me a brief description of what you're looking for. If you're looking for a large project, you know, from what I see there, we can go ahead and schedule an in-person. Or if it's a smaller project and you've submitted pictures, we can either quote directly off those pictures in your description, because we've been doing this for quite a while, since 1991. So based on our experience, we can kind of gauge where it should fall and make it fair for both you and I.
Yeah.
Or if it's something that, you know, I need a little bit more information on, I'm going to shoot you a link to my calendar. You can book an online session where you just walk me around with your phone, show me what you got going on. I can ask those questions to you, and then we can generate a quote from that.
Love it. Love it. Now, if I may, Tom, I'm going to lean in because I think what I'm about to share with you, I have a feeling you're going to nod your head.
Okay.
Greg knows this already. Greg knows this already, and I kind of know it. The fastest growing segment of home buyers, home owners, property owners are single professional females.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
And having said that, I think what you just touched on and you shared with me as to how you make it easy for someone like me, and therefore that single professional female, to engage you, is a much more innovative way. Why? Because let's be real, in this day and age, there's a lot of bad actors, fraudulent people out there. Sometimes you don't want to be so trigger happy to invite people who you don't know quite well yet into your home to ask questions, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. All right. All right. So my next question, Tom, putting you in the hot seat, is today is tax day. Today is tax day. And if you're like me, you waited until today. Yes, I waited till today to file my taxes because unlike the rest of you, I didn't get a refund. I had to pay. So I'm going to wait until the better end to pay. Now, let's go to the other segment of consumers where they filed their taxes way early because they were getting a nice big fat refund. Tom, I have a feeling right about this time of the year, is your phone lighting up because people are itching, scratching their head? How can I spend my refund money to tackle the honey-do list, right?
It is a little bit twofold. So it is a little bit of, okay, we've got a little cash in our pockets and we've been putting this project off. But you guys are in the business, you know, with people are moving. We're getting a fair amount of punch list items that are coming across our phones or our computers,
right?
So that way, they can get their home ready for sale, or they're in the middle of a purchase and they need to know what it's going to take to get it to where they need it, so they can. That's
right. So, Greg, you agree to that, right? I mean, when you consult with your sellers, you do that. You do that huddle before you go live with a listing. You kind of walk them through with your professional advice of like, hey, I highly recommend you fix this, or flat out you say, you got to fix this, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Cool beans. Cool beans. So, Tom, got to ask the question, what is the most common handyman request? And by the way, audience members, I'm going to share with you a poll here with a few multiple choice answers. But Tom, share with us, what is the most common handyman request that you get?
I mean, you've got almost a three-way tie there. I will add the fourth would be that punch list, but on that punch list is probably all those items that you have listed there.
Wow, really?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So audience members, there's going to come a point in time in your head, whether you are male gender, female gender, it doesn't matter. You're going to come upon that question of, well, why shouldn't I do it myself? Right? So, Tom, I'm going to own this one because I know you and your father through your business. I've benefited from your help. So, audience members, let me lean in and tell you why. Sometimes there are certain things you should not DIY. I'm going to start with the first one. You're not smart enough. That was kind of me. Second, would this be a correct statement? True or false game, Tom? You don't have the tools. We got the tools, right?
Yeah, we got
all right.
a fair amount of tools.
All right. Third one, audience members. And I'm calling out to some of you. Yes, I'm going to point fingers here. Some of you where you may be a highly compensated professional. You're an executive of a company. You're an IT professional. You're a physician. Imagine this, if you will. Would you give up a few hours of your billable time earning the big number versus outsourcing the work to someone that might be smarter than you, have more tools than you, and can probably knock it out, right? So yes, those are some of the reasons why it makes sense to reach out to a professional. So as we have this banter about, why Tom, why his business can certainly help you, let me share with you how you might need to find him. It's really easy, people, but I'm going to give you a little jump start. All you need to do is simply Google this. It's a family business. He and his father own and operate here in the Chicago suburbs. And just like Tom said, if he can't help you, he'll certainly give you the right advice. And sometimes the advice is such that, yeah, maybe you can DIY it. Or if he can't help you, it will certainly point you in the right direction, right, Tom?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm in the process now of building up a referral network. So that way, if it's a service that we don't offer, we've got somebody reputable that does the work just like we do. They've got the same value structure, so that way we can send it over to them, and everybody gets to eat. That's my thing.
Yeah. Spot on. So in case audience members, you may be wondering, like, oh my gosh, it's nice to get a referral to someone that, you trust, Bill, because I know you, or Greg, I know you. So, Tom being a part of this live stream, yes, trust in all three of our businesses is the one biggest goal that we have to accomplish. And by the way, trust is a two-way street. We have to trust you as you have to trust us. By the way, when we say we have to trust you, that does mean we have to trust that you will pay for services rendered, right, Greg? Right, Tom?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, audience members, as we wrap up tonight's live stream, I hinted at this earlier, and that was, how can you build the right team to sell your home with 40 households waiting in line just like they're chasing Taylor Swift concert tickets? Audience members, here's how you do this. All you need to do is simply scan the QR code that you see here. The one on, I guess, your right, my right, is the QR code for Greg. Scan that so that you can get in touch with him to start a conversation. And along the way, if you do need financing, unless you're a cash buyer. By the way, cash buyers used to be a thing of, used to be a big thing. As the real estate price points are kind of moving up, I've seen less and less people let go of the cash. Why? Because at the end of the day, cash is king. The more you have that right now in this very volatile world that we live in, the better for you. So again, the QR code that you